we're live, folks. Back again. This is your host, the Demon.
With his merch.
Of Lit Literature with my merchandise. Thank you, Cherry. And you're here to discuss, finally, The Blood Mirror by Brent Weeks. And you're with this expanded, amazing crew that we have pulled together forcefully by my constant goading
and coercion. Please
let's go around. Let's go around circle.
I'm here against my will. If anyone is watching,
please send help.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna read the next book. What? No, Manny.
We gotta talk about this one first.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, let's go around circle. Just let everybody know who's here.
Ben the Hitman.
Game the Dream.
Cherry.
Coming to you straight from the plains of... No, I'm just kidding. Brett, the director. No captain today.
Coming to you deep from the blood forest. Oh shit, I forgot all the names. I just can't... Only the captain
Only the captain can do it.
Yeah. It just doesn't work without him. But you know what? That's fine. We are here to discuss Blood Mirror, and we're super pumped, all of us, because we finally can start, after tonight, the fifth and final book, The Blinding White, by Brent Weeks, which we will bring to you as well immediately. So, let's just quickly do a tiny bit of your initial impressions of the book.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is holy spoiler hell book. So everything just seemed to
You
be...
mean blow my brains out?
Yes, everything
Crazy
just...
surprise book?
At the end was they're not really a build up to anything big, but just a build up to just let's just bring everything crashing down around you, and now you have to reevaluate everything you felt about everything.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know who I was anymore or what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
Especially if your name's Gavin. I mean, a.k.a. Dason. What do you believe?
I don't
Or
Do you
even-
believe you? Do you believe the old you? Do
You're
you
the
believe
black.
color?
You're the black prism.
Or who is Kip?
Is he?
Finding out about Kip.
Is he?
You know
Oh
who
my
Kip
God.
is?
What is that thing?
Kip
Go
is
to give
his
it to
brother.
Spoiler alert, guys! Spoiler alert.
We should just have it. That should have been a line. Kip, I am your brother.
It's more like
better happen in
Andross
the next
Guile
book.
is going to get to use the Kip, I am your father piece.
I know, I was thinking that too.
Brings me back to good old Chewie.
Chewie. That's
What
not...
the French?
We never met you.
That's you. That is so
Chewie.
phenomenal.
I got it.
Jeff has this tiki
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca cup.
Even though no one ever
Anybody
tells
that's
Chewie.
listening, go look at the video on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Anyway.
Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, that's right, because they might be just listening to the podcast,
Yeah.
not watching the video on YouTube. So, okay.
Jeff's feeling a little silly about doing this earlier and just showing his shirt and not saying a thing.
Yeah.
You have great breasts.
Anyway, sorry. Let's roll.
I love them.
Yeah. It's also here, too.
Thank God, really?
Yes.
So the
The
book.
demon.
What
What are you
about the
talking
book?
Oh, yeah, about the book.
Yeah.
About the book. Okay, so my thoughts were not only the holy hell, also the holy hell, this could end disastrously.
I
Yeah.
agree. I was so scared.
I am so scared. Some of our favorite characters are put into very dire positions. I would even say that Kip is not understanding the whole game, and he's kind of finding himself maybe potentially into a trap.
Yeah.
Well, but he's
Tia.
also going pretty amazing, doing
Remember what the... Oh, no, he's
Remember
doing
what-
amazing.
yeah.
I'm not
Remember
going
what
to take
the seer
amazing
said,
away, but
though.
remember
But-
what the seer said.
that he's missing something, but you get the feeling that he's starting to realize. He's looking at the maps. He's there's something.
He's been realized
I
for a
think
while. He's
that-
been like, what am I
yes,
missing? What am I
yes.
missing? But he
But-
still fell into it.
I would still say though he's
Can you
been
calm it down?
amazing because he is
Me?
destroying
Yeah.
it.
Me? Am I too much energy for you?
No, you need to stop talking about Kip. He's my friend.
Kip fell into a trap. The frickin' third eye got killed by Sharp.
Oh my God, that fucker.
That scene was so hard.
Murder Sharp. That was
Sharp's
bad.
a punk.
Tia might have to kill Gavin. Gavin now has that stupid black crystal
Oh, no.
that those gods are wearing.
Tia's gonna have to kill Ironfist.
Yeah. Most likely.
King Ironfist? I
King
suspect
Iron
Tia's
Fist.
going to be busy helping Gavin kill a god, and somebody else is going to have
I
to
don't
kill
know.
Iron
You think
Fist.
she's gonna
And
go
his
with
name's
him?
Kip.
Yeah, I think. It's
Oh my god, you
going
think Kip
on
is
both.
gonna have to face him?
I think Kip's gonna have to face
Oh, maybe
Iron
that's a
Fist.
Brett bet. Who's gonna kill or who's gonna face Iron Fist? Is it gonna be Tia or is it gonna be?
How's Tia gonna face Iron
She's
Fist, man?
because she was the one who said when they were.
She's the one that killed his sister.
Yeah,
I know that, I know
and
that, but
she's
she's
the one.
going with Gavin up.
No,
the,
she's not. The whatever. What's his? The old man. Grimwoody said that he was gonna send her and
Yeah.
she was gonna be tested and she's gonna have to kill
Yeah.
someone.
like
But
Gavin.
she was immediately like, I'm gonna have to kill Iron Fist.
That's
That's
I
what she
thought.
thinks.
But that's why
But
I
that's
think
not
it's
correct.
not going to be Iron
It's
Fist.
Gavin.
It's not,
She doesn't
because-
know that though. Grimwoody's sending Gavin to go destroy the god.
With
No,
the
she
bow.
does now because
Oh,
she was
yeah,
given
yeah.
the mission.
Correct.
Well,
At
what
the
she-
end of the book.
But
But
when
initially she thought
She
it
has
was-
to hide in the boat that old Captain Gunner's going to be driving,
Taking
and
Gavin.
she has to emerge. And then her assignment was literally, I need to help Gavin succeed at any cost. And then once he succeeds,
kill him.
Kill him.
and if she doesn't do that, don't come back. That's literally what she was told. And her dad's dead if she doesn't do that.
And her dad's dead.
yeah, okay, I remember that now.
Oh my god.
Gosh,
Like, holy hell.
Still want to
Yeah.
do Brett bet?
nope.
Well, no, but
It's like really cold down here.
Yeah.
But he could.
Oh,
Kip
I
could
said that
still.
earlier, man. You
that's why I'm
laughed
wearing
at
my
me.
literature jacket.
Kip could still. I mean, she could still have to kill him.
She
but
could.
I
She
think.
could.
But now that we mentioned, I remember that. I think Kip's probably a higher chance.
Well, the thing that Kip
What about Kiss?
thing about Kip is there's the Blood Nation, the Blood Forest Nation. What was it called?
the Fire Nation.
No,
The-
not the Fire Nation. Damn it. Damn it, Ben.
the Blood Forest.
Damn it. The
Yeah.
Blood Forest Nation.
Airborne.
Wasn't it called something though?
Yeah, probably.
Besides
ghosts?
Blood Forest? No, not the ghost. I mean, they're all pieces
The
of the Blood Forest.
Rothgaris. The
Rathgaris,
The-
yeah,
Sons of the
they're all
Tea.
part of that. I think it is the Rathgari Nation, but the Blood Forest is part of it. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Correct me. But they're right next to and
Are you talking about the people that are not human?
allied with the Iron Fists.
Yeah,
sister.
whatever his people.
What was
are.
that nation called again now? Fuck. Fact checker, this is your job.
What the? I told you, let's do this after I finish the book because I wasn't going to remember anything.
but
So,
they might not be allied. We don't know.
well, now I don't know that
Yeah.
they're allied anymore. Now that it's King Iron Fist and the
Well, no, the Blood Force. then-
sisters. The Blood Forest is
Yeah.
tied to Rothgar. Because the Rothgari, they would do that whole, like, that was the whole wars of the
Yeah.
Blood Forest. It was the Rothgar and maybe it was, maybe, whatever. I don't know.
But the Blood Force is
Fuck my
tied to the
life.
Pomerium.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Rothgar
then
is. And so is
King
Blood.
Iron Fist. It's gonna be his own kingdom.
Yeah.
And then
The Lightbringers.
Kip.
Oh, I thought you were saying like search a map. Like what? I'm
No,
not
no,
that
no.
stupid.
You're right.
Just go to Google
The
Maps,
head,
man.
Iron Fist sister, her title. Do you guys remember her title?
Iron Fist's sister?
Yeah, it was started
No.
with an M. She was the Mahabra or something.
Yeah. I thought it was an N. Then the Nubukwa.
No.
Nubukwa.
I thought it started with a B. She was the Boniqua.
The Moniqua.
We're off to a
Kahabra.
really good start, guys.
Mahabra? Kahabra?
Nukaba.
Mukaba!
Nukaba.
That's it. All right, the
New
Mukaba.
said.
Nukaba. Not an M. Nukaba.
It's a Nukaba?
Yeah.
Nukaba.
Whatever.
They're going to be the
Iron
old
Fist
Kaba
sister.
soon.
All right, so that nation is right next to Rothgar and the Blood Forest. So the reason that I said Kip is because he's technically geographically the closest.
And he'll probably get pushed back into that area as the war keeps
Unless Iron Fist literally decides, despite everything that happened, he's still gonna support Kip's growth
But didn't
to
he-
be the breaker.
He might, but didn't he get a
Lucedonius come
premonition
again.
that like everywhere he goes after this, he'll like it'll be like death and destruction of all he loves or something?
There was, well, it wasn't Kip. I know
Yeah.
the commander. I can't remember his name.
Iron Fist?
No, the other commander.
Fisk.
What?
Fist.
Commander
about?
Fisk?
Of the mighty.
Oh, Cruxer.
Oh, Cruxer.
He had that dream where he had to fight and kill Iron Fist.
Oh yeah.
And I want to say it was Karis who was like, "Oh, there's nothing but." No, it was Tia maybe who saw
Yeah.
destruction. Iron Fist is coming towards him and destroying him.
Yeah, Tia said that. I remember that now. She said Iron Fist. You know what? That's a great bet. Is Cruxer really going to have to kill Iron Fist? Are they going to kill each other?
Oh my god.
Oh my
of
god, they better
Kip.
not kill each other.
Cruxer's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that Brett bet now. I'm gonna say that Cruxer and Ironfist are gonna fight and they are gonna kill each other.
They're
Okay.
gonna kill each other, like they're both gonna die.
I think they're gonna kill each other.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go against it, and I'm gonna say they're not
I
gonna
hope
kill
so.
each other.
I hope so,
think
bro.
that Cruxer is gonna help Iron Fist realize that he needs to help. Because I think
That could
Cruxer-
happen because-
in
That's a
the
different
end-
bet.
Well, no, but they won't fight to kill each other. Are
Okay.
you just asking if they're gonna fight? I think they will fight, but are they gonna?
No, but
are
you
you
think they're
saying?
gonna kill each
I'm
other?
saying they're gonna
I
kill
think
each other.
I think kill each other provides too many options because then it's like a 4-option bet. I think it should just be.
Okay.
Will
Do,
Cruxer kill him?
do one of them kill the other, or do they not fight and end up teaming up? Like it has
What
to
if
be
they
a
fight and do
binary.
team up then after?
What's that?
What if they fight and team up after?
Well, if at any point they fight and one of them dies, then
But what if neither of them dies and they fight? Then it's the other
that's
option.
yeah, then it's the other.
Okay, I say I'm against.
Is that okay, Jeff?
Yeah,
Since it was
I'm
your
good with
Brett
that.
bet?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I hope that you guys are right, by the way, because I love Cruxer and I don't want to see him go out. I would
Well,
actually
and I
like
love
to see
Iron
him
Fist,
retire
too.
into the sunset at the end of this book series. But just the way that I read some other Brent Weeks works, I get the feeling that this is going to be a mix mash of like happy and not happy.
Yeah.
You got the. I kind of get the feeling that no matter what, Gavin's gonna die in this next book.
Dude, he probably won't die. That's the crazy thing.
No, he's
Yeah.
gonna die. I get a feeling.
Maybe. I think Tia's gonna die.
Really?
Yeah.
No!
I don't think she can.
Yeah.
Should we do
No.
each main character? Do they die? Brett bet.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh my
we'll have a
goodness.
chain. We
Okay.
have the last book. That's a great idea.
All right. We'll end the episode with placing our bets on that.
End it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
So let's talk
we'll
about
go
the book
through
for
all
a
of our
while
bets.
because that may
Yeah.
actually kind of get
It
our
might-
theories.
yeah, get our theories in place.
Okay, folks. So
Do we want to do the Cruxer one now, though, or wait till the end?
we might as well because we already logged
Okay,
it.
so
thing,
will Cruxer and Iron Fist fight and one of them dies? Jeff says yes. Manny, or Ben.
Yes.
Ben says yes.
Dissenting. No.
Manny,
I don't think one of them will die.
no.
Okay.
Josh,
No.
no.
Brett's
so
the
I'm the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker. I'm going to say yes.
We got it, Manny. We got it.
I mean,
kidding.
You're high-fiving the Brett bet number
But I'm
one.
killing it this. I'm killing it this. I'm killing it this time around.
That's true.
I am killing it this time around.
All right. It's true.
All
Okay.
right.
So the rest of those character outcome bets will come at the end of the episode. Then.
Yes.
That's a great idea. I love it. Okay. So we do start with Kip becoming a general, in essence. Full essence. I mean, doing it.
Kind of going from like a a guerrilla tactics like little
Yeah.
army unit to an actual full fledged like I have an army.
Did you guys feel this at all? But
How'd
like,
that happen?
I keep saying, I think we revisit this constantly, but the
Yeah.
character development in Brent Weeks' books is next level. We went from fat Kit, scared Kit from the beginning. Every book growing, developing differently, and then finally becoming, I don't know, this what he is.
I love
a Guile.
how I love how
Yeah, I guess
this-
a real Guile. Truly.
Well, what's awesome too is in this book that he actually confronts a lot of that change because he starts to he even like recognizes like, oh, I'm falling back into my self-pity, and he's like, I shouldn't be like this, and these people aren't all lying. Maybe I am actually like leading them, and this isn't all just like, he still thinks it's all a fluke and like the whole Lightbringer stuff, and he's like, I don't believe that. But I think he's starting to like recognize that all these people can't be wrong. And
I kind of agree with you. I don't think he I don't think that
yeah.
he doesn't necessarily think he's a Lightbringer. I don't
Yeah.
think he knows, but he always just says, I didn't say that.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And now it's getting to the point where it's like,
Wait, is it
oh,
Lightbringer? I
blah,
thought he
blah,
was the light splitter.
No,
No.
Lightbringer.
Well-
Everybody thinks he's the Lightbringer.
and Dioxides and Breaker.
Cyclopses.
Oh,
Diacoctes.
the
Diacoptes.
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 Cyclops.
Dioxyles, Cyclopses.
And Hercules.
I do
I
think
thought I was the only one drinking for this.
I do think it's interesting that like we actually I think I touched on it. Ben and I touched on it briefly, I think in like either the first or second book, one of the episodes, where I was talking about how I think it's interesting because I think a lot of times we look at people like Gavin and we think like, oh, I could never become that. They're so big. They're so great.
Yeah.
And they forget that they went through like a journey also. And like Kip is basically like kind of that person. He went through this version of himself where he's basically like nothing. He has almost like no inkling of potential even, but he just like grows through the books and he gets to the point. And I just think that's really cool to always keep in mind. Even though it's a book, I think it's very true to life where it's like, never look at somebody else and be like, oh, I can never be that. They're so much greater than me. It's just like, oh, how do I become that?
Yeah.
You know?
Or, I totally agree with you. And so I guess there isn't an or. I don't even know why or came out. But, it's amazing because we are still in that spot where he's finally becoming this great man, I think.
Great
He's always been a great man. He's just not realizing it himself.
So Manny just disagreed with everything I just said.
He's still becoming a great man.
Yeah, but I love it because he still makes mistakes, and then he like kind of. But now he's so conscious about his own mistakes that not all of them, and we'll talk about that as we get towards the end. But many of them, he like can reflect inwardly later and be like, ah, shit. You know, like, I made this mistake, and this is what I did, or I lost it, and I love the description that Brent Weeks used sometimes, and where he, like, throws on his old Kip coat, and it feels burdensome and gross. Like,
I love how throughout all the books he's basically saying, like, oh, Kip the lip, oh, Kip the lip, like, chastising himself for being Kip the lip, and then, like, at one point during this book, he was even, like,
the bear turtle or whatever.
I kind of miss Kip the lip. Where he, like, says, like, in his head, I kind of miss Kip the lip, or something like that.
And then when he
like,
doesn't
looked back
do
on it
and
more
then everything
fondly.
turned out well, he was like, and that's why I don't do that.
Oh, so that's how that works.
But I just want to say, when Jeff brought up bringing on the old Kip, it was like smelly and old and like unclean.
Yeah.
But it was so comfortable.
Yeah.
And it was like,
He did
it's
say
so
that.
easy to slip back into old Kip.
Yeah.
It's
It's comforting, yeah. That's why a lot of people don't move on from that, because it's not easy.
Yeah,
it's
not easy.
hard.
I love him having to inwardly defeat that. It's like there's a whole nother enemy going on in his head, and we are, as readers, lucky enough to get to
See it.
kind of
Yeah.
experience
When it's
it.
also just such a cool way of kind of bringing additional depth to the character that you don't see in a lot of development.
Yeah.
Where like you really see his almost like the difficulty of becoming what he should be or what he needs to be, and it's not just like he's already this like amazing person with all these great morals. Like he has like this. He's like, I just yelled at my wife and I feel like a douchebag now.
Yeah.
I should probably not have done that. But then he goes back in and immediately he's like, well, I'm getting pissed off again.
Yeah.
So it's not like this easy, very like
It's realistic. It's true.
and the development is so good to be able to like see the internal monologues and how he kind of portrayed that like this isn't just this smooth sailing of this like perfect guy who's like I'm the reborn whatever, like I'm amazing. He actually has to work at it, and like he's and what I love is how he's so much more intimately aware of like a lot of his failures, even more so than like other people are just like, oh, he's like amazing, like you're the Lightbringer reborn type thing, and he's like, no, I'm fucking up over here. And this is hard.
Yeah.
It's
is
amazing
great.
perspective flip, but that's actually a great bridge, Josh, because we could talk about number one. He starts on a boat. He's not able to consummate his marriage with his wife. I'm on a boat, and then we find out that he can actually draft Key and Paryl.
Oh,
Both.
yeah.
Which is so
And
crazy.
Which is a new
rebalances.
comedy duo, Key and Paryl.
Yeah. Chi. Is it Chi or Key?
I think it's-
Key.
I think it's key.
At least in the
C-H-I.
audiobook, they say Key.
I
They
was
say Key in the
pronounced
audiobook.
it Chi.
Yeah. I don't know the true answer. I think
Yeah.
only Brent Weeks could probably answer that.
I think it's
Minus,
like tomato,
that.
tomato. I think people pronounce it both
Yeah.
ways.
But
The audiobook
that's
is key.
Well,
In the
it's Tai
audiobook,
Chi.
it's
It's not Tai Chi.
By the way, in Chinese
Okay, it's
and
Chinese
Japanese / Korean, Ki,
Mandarin.
Chi, they are actually the same thing, and they are both pronounced in Chinese Chi and in Japanese Ki or in Korean Ki. So maybe it's both.
It is, yeah, it's both.
Wait, are they?
The world may never know.
Those are the opposite end hidden ones.
Paryl
right?
and Ki.
He doesn't Kip like open his eyes to both ends of the spectrum.
Complete one eye to each.
Did he do one eye?
It was on, because that was the thing, like, he goes to complete opposite, and that's what nearly destroys his sight until he gets visited by...
Well, what really it actually did destroy his sight, and only because one of the immortals, we don't know what they are, I guess, yet.
The librarian.
She was there at that moment, chose to be there at that moment, thankfully. And she, because of the rules of the enemy,
so I think,
she was allowed to heal it.
Well, I think the enemy must have also done something kind of illegal.
Well,
so they shouldn't have done
directed the storm towards...
Yes.
Yeah, so because he kind of illegally, I wouldn't say, but he kind of broke the rules a little bit to move the storm. She was able to break the rules.
Signs, man.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
But it's very interesting because they make this, these kind of immortals, they have, like, rules, but it's not in what you would see in a typical, like, system where it's just like, I cannot do this. They're like, I almost had to break the laws of physics for this, but I just barely managed to skirt around it and not do it. So it seems that it's not like which is weird, that the immortals aren't bound by a law of physics. They're bound by rules, but that they can break. That seems to be something above them driving that.
So I have a thought there.
I have a thought as well.
Okay, let's talk about this thought. And then we'll move on to the next. But so Manny, I'm curious what you think. But I think what it is Grimwoody said this many times. He's like, kill whatever it is, God, whatever, blah, blah, Orholam, whatever he is. But I think Orholam might be just a higher level immortal. And he dictated these rules. And he's just kind of sitting back and watching. Like a game, like a sports game. And they're like testing it a little bit here and there. But if they really broke it, he's like the ref. He would go in and like that tidal wave. How do they describe it when that one immortal who was kind of cheating in the library against Kip was like blown away, like he was nothing, at all, like a speck of dust on a tsunami.
But that makes me think that Orholam would have to be a conscious decision-making thing, not just a rule, because otherwise there is no gray zone.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I was thinking too. It's with a lot of things when you're talking about rules or things that bind somebody to it, you always have to look at the perspective of that person and why they're making the decision, right? So if they don't think that they're doing something that is technically breaking the rules, then they're not breaking the rules. For instance, if I'm like, if the rule is like, I can't harm Josh in any way, but in my mind I think, Josh is really, really struggling, so me hurting him is helping him. I'm not breaking the rule.
Then it allows you to kind of bend.
Correct. Because consciously, I'm crazy, and I'm thinking that I'm helping him.
Right.
Okay. It's possible too. That'd be pretty cool.
But it also, I think that the whole kind of system of semi being able to break these rules, I don't necessarily agree that Orholam's like kind of neutral, like I'm just going to stand above, because there's 800 that broke away, and 800 total of these immortals, 200 broke away and became evil.
Yeah.
So they're trying to kill Orholam.
Yeah.
So you would think that he wouldn't be this like neutral, like, I'll just kind of take whatever side. They're like, enforce these rules based on how I feel. You'd think he's almost not a sentient, but then how are we deciding these rules?
I mean, the fun thing is in the next book, we're actually going to get to probably meet whatever Orholam, sentient or non-sentient beast, magic, crystal, whatever Orholam is. Gavin is going to have to fucking kill it.
Or
try
face
to.
down.
Or at least
you see all the constant visions of him like standing before, and he keeps having these dreams, which is very awesome that at the end it's like, you're going there. And he's like, I've been having dreams in the cell constantly of a fist coming down and crushing him.
Dude, I honestly cannot wait. We probably don't want to dive into it quite yet. Right at this moment in the podcast, but when we get to the Gavin, where we get to discuss the past, true past, fake past, all the manipulation that might be coming in out of this, like the facts are just so muddied.
Yeah.
Even in his own mind, it's really amazing. Andross Guile actually has a significant amount of knowledge that we didn't know about because of his care of Dazen as a father, which is
interesting.
Still crazy.
Yeah. But it's also something that we kind of speculated could be a possibility in the first book.
We did talk about it.
We talked about it, that
we did.
He could have chosen real Gavin, specifically because he didn't want Dazen to die. And that Dazen might be processing it incorrectly. We kind of probably subconsciously threw that idea away as we got to learn more about him,
Yeah.
but it ended up being true.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what he's saying, and I believe him.
Yeah,
do you guys believe him?
Oh, I believe
Yeah,
him
I
as
believe
well.
him.
I believe him too.
Hardcore. He chose Gavin as the prism because
He
was
resembles his
expendable.
mother.
Oh, expendable.
He's got both his mother, or the real
Gavin.
Dazen resembles him and his mother.
Yeah.
The best traits of, he said, you have the best traits of
Of
both of
both.
us, and also some of our biggest weaknesses, but like you have like the good
Combined.
traits of both. Whereas his son was cruel and
It's him.
Him,
Yeah,
but
it
even
was just-
more.
But
than
even
him.
worse.
yeah.
So let's go back.
But- wait,
So
I would
basically,
add
kind of
one.
what the dead man tried to convince
Yes.
Gavin he was
Yeah.
actually his brother. I wonder if he was specifically. Anyway, I'm kind of taking it away from whatever you were going to say, but I was curious if there was like any learning from being in the cell with Dazen or with Gavin. Which one? I forget now. With real Gavin for so long.
Based on what we learn now, there may have never been anyone else in the fucking cell.
Yeah, there was
that's
no
right.
one.
That's right. I
might have
forgot
been
about
all in
that.
his
That's
mind.
right.
That was all in his
yeah,
mind. That was
I forgot
him
about
in
that.
the cell.
Yeah,
Pretty
you're
much,
right.
we think.
Which
but
is so
anyway, but what I was gonna say
crazy.
though is we actually even like I think there's a bit of a skewed idea of how real Gavin was, because in one of Dazen's flashbacks, Gavin is literally over him crying as he knows he has to kill his brother because of the prison war, like crying, and then Dazen's like, well, fuck this, and kills his brother.
Well, but that's what the spinning is going. So here's kind of what I think about that. I think that Gavin, the real Gavin, was actually kind of a giant prick.
Oh,
And Andross knows it. They both knew it. But that didn't mean he didn't love his brother.
Yeah.
And I think that he went through a lot of fucked up shit becoming the Prism too. And so I suspect the thing that Gavin or Dazen Gavin has that other Gavin didn't have is this like ability to both love and pull the trigger like an Andross Guile at the moment. But then, like, have this ability to reflect.
well,
So
a big
yeah.
thing too is Gavin went there, and the entire original plan was to steal Dazen's ability with the blinding knife.
No.
Once the blinding knife was stolen, they had no choice but to kill Dazen. Gavin and Andross went, and their whole plan was to stab Dazen with the blinding knife, and even that's why Andross was like, what would have happened? And he's like, did he have a chance to do it? And Dazen said yes.
But they
He would have
weren't
been able
hoping
do
to
that.
kill him. They were
No, they were
actually-
hoping to steal his powers so he
Yeah.
couldn't. They'd end in
Wouldn't be
prison.
mad.
They were hoping
but they
to
would keep
sap
him alive.
of the black.
And that would have kept him. Well, it wouldn't have sapped him with black, but all of his other colors.
Well, they didn't know that, but
No, they were
hoping.
hoping
It would
to
sap them of the
him
black.
of the black.
yeah.
And-
But what's interesting by that too is he said it can't steal the black. So I'm wondering if now Dazen, the Gavin, if he goes and kills a Wright, will he get that Wright's color? So he'll be able to start seeing again colors.
That's the amazing thing. I think we're going to want to
think
revisit
so.
this when we get to this spot in the story. But what we don't know is that there's all these like information that was given to us, and some of it was given to us truthfully, and some of it was given to us by manipulators. And the manipulators might be one of the immortals who is pretending to be in the black, or
Yeah.
maybe there's like what was it? What did he say in the black cell? When he lost it, he was pretending to be.
Oh, and he started
then
speaking in
suddenly
another
he was
language?
speaking that
Yeah.
other- and then you're like, oh, that's one
Yeah,
of the
you're.
immortals.
Well, you're definitely not.
So, like, what
yeah.
we know is that what we do know is that what we think we know is some of it is wrong. That's it. Did I say that
I'm
right? I don't
confused
know.
though. Do we know that was one of the immortals?
We don't know.
Okay.
You
But-
have
'cause
to. You know
don't-
it's
the
something
immortals
else.
can come in and out of existence though, but only visit at one point,
In time.
one time, right?
Well,
so why would he
whatever
be
point.
stuck in there? Because he was like, he seemed super afraid of being stuck in there.
For whatever reason,
Forever.
he's tied to the black. I don't
Yeah,
think he's
maybe.
afraid of being stuck in there forever. I think he chose at that moment to put himself in the black. Similar, there may be
Well, 'cause
other
he knew
regulations
that could
we
be
don't
when
know
Gavin
about.
blows up and he wants Gavin to take the black again, and he's losing it when Gavin was leaving.
It's kind of like some of the other immortals, like Liv's immortal. Only when she finally breaks the halo and has the seed crystal can he somehow. Until she broke the halo, he couldn't talk with her. But when she broke the halo and had the
You
seed
think
crystal,
they're immortals?
I think that Liv's little god, mischievous god, is definitely one of the 200 immortals. And the more, because there was hints throughout the books that the immortals were playing as gods, and they loved it.
So this could be hinting, well, maybe not hinting, maybe they straight up say it and I missed it, but this is basically probably why the Chromeria is so against breaking your Halo. Because it allows the possibility for one of the 200 corrupt immortals to come in and start talking
I think we don't know the answer yet. They didn't say it, but I think that the history, the Chromeria has been hiding their own history so much, like stifling in it and getting under because they've been afraid of a lot. But it had roots in reality,
Right.
and now we're finding out what that reality is.
Right.
Andross Guile is, according to even Grimwitty, our greatest foe. Because he's keeping the Chromeria alive for certain reasons, but they may both have some pros and cons to their ways of thought.
Now, do you think Andross knows that? Like, do you think he's privy to any of the stuff that Grimwitty knows?
He does know about.
He seems to know a lot.
Yeah, he seems to know a lot because of the he studied black so much. Because of Dazen.
Because of Dazen.
And he definitely knows about the 200 immortals because he was happy when they killed one. But I think he is very practical because, like what he said when he was talking to Karis Ironwhite.
8 are dead now? 8 of the immortals? Because there were 200 and the Lucidonius killed 7 and then they
9.
just killed 1.
I mean, that thing
9.
told
9.
me a ton about Andross, though, because he said, like, don't expect these gods to think we're anything but flex on reality.
Yeah.
Like
they're
don't pretend like we're anything. We're just tools and times to these things. We're in a greater war, and to survive it, we have to be, like, so clever.
Yeah.
More clever than anybody else. So I think that he knows a lot, but...
So even the not corrupt immortals aren't necessarily on their side.
Maybe not, because they're in such a bigger...
Yeah, especially when you look at just that tiny fraction of time, like Chromeria, like surviving, they're talking about, like,
eternity.
We're protecting our god. Like, Oholem, they're 600 versus that 200 that want to essentially erase them. And it looks like the Order is trying to completely erase all of it by killing all magic in the world.
Well, I think that the Order's beliefs, it seems like it's legit, but I think even they have flawed thoughts. Because, like, they want true equality. They want to kill magic so that there's no more of this
hierarchy system.
Hierarchy.
If they kill magic, there's still gonna be rich people and poor people, and they're gonna be slaves.
But you know how people get when they get dogmatic about a certain belief, right?
But I don't think it's gonna change that much in the long run for them, because the people in power will still be in power.
Think about Grinwoody. Does he have any? He probably doesn't have any magic. So for him, like,
well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But if he doesn't, like, that makes sense. Like, hey, look at me. I'm a servant to this red.
I suspect that he could draft them.
But you think so?
Yeah,
he's probably like a key drafter or something. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen
because everyone's super
drafter.
Scared of him. Yeah, you're right. We have not seen, except for Kip now.
Yeah,
he's the
first one.
At first, I thought the Order of the Broken Eye was working with the 200 gods.
Yeah.
The
bad. Yeah, but they want them dead too.
Yeah. Then it's like, are they like a third faction, or they get being misled,
or they being manipulated, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The Order was like founded at the beginning, and original Lucidonius was on the Order, but then he left and rebelled against to set up Order, and they stayed against him.
They called him the Great Betrayer.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's so crazy because when I heard that, I was like, Diacactes, he's like even worse. He just wants power for himself, but now he could have been in the Order and found out what they're trying to do. And it's like, I can't let this happen. And then he started the Chromarium to do that.
It's interesting. I can't wait. We're gonna get information overload.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how long this book is.
The end of this book was information overload. There was just I just need to read these last like 10 chapters again because you're just like, what the frick happened?
Do you remember? Like I love it when Andross. It's like not even at the end of the book. It's like a quarter, probably 3/4 into the book, and Andross is like, Kip's not even your son.
Yeah.
He's my son. And we're like,
wait, what? What? Is the book over already?
There's still a quarter of the book left.
I know.
Holy
it was
shit.
crazy.
Jesus. Yeah, and like apparently there's there was a prophecy or something too about his youngest son
has the farthest reach.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, something like that. And But it's just crazy how he's like, you even tried to kill your son, and he was like, oh yeah, first one was a mistake. Second one was a mistake. First one was just like, I didn't know.
Well, he didn't believe it.
Or I was testing.
He was kind of like, I don't believe this shit.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's like, that guy's fucking nuts.
What do you think really happened with their other brother?
Oh,
there's something. There's definitely
We're gonna-
mysterious
right?
one.
Definitely.
Because
And I think it has to do with Dazen.
you think so.
Yeah.
Well, for certainly Dazen found him, and then he was
We saw
getting
it
killed by a
happen.
blue white. But we don't know what actually surrounds.
So
the
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true.
Correct.
Because what could it be? Here's the thing, though. What if Dazen literally got to a point where he needed like food? He somehow like
he
had
killed
to
him for food?
He killed him, and then the Black Luxon that like created it. He created an illusion
memory.
to make him like, this is my justification now for feeding off of rights for the rest of my life, and he eliminated the memory.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
The only thing that I'm not too certain about that is there are things that happen later in his life that he's starting to get back, because the illusion in the wall said that the Black's ability of taking away your memory fades over time.
Decays.
So you
All
would
magic
think,
decays.
All magic
Yeah.
decays. So you would think the really old memories would have come back first, unless it was that strong. So I'm not entirely sure, but what if that was the case?
Yeah.
That he killed his brother, his dad would know.
I think that.
Yeah,
he-
I feel like
I think he
Andross
did.
would know that.
I think so. I
I also
that-
feel like that would. I mean,
might have poisoned the mom's
like
thought on
I
him.
started coming up with all sorts of like kind of more sinister theories about him. Also, when we first started hearing what the dead man had to say, but now I kind of feel like a lot of it was just misdirection and messing with
Manipulation.
him. And I don't think he's as bad as I thought for a few chapters. Obviously,
I don't
He's
think he can be.
Yeah.
Because Kara's
especially
did
since
love him
Andross
first.
says that he was like the best, like one of the best of them, right? He was
Yeah, he was
not-
compassionate,
he was
and
compassionate
they even said he was like, "You were the best prism."
Yeah.
like the best prism we've ever had.
right.
So you
But
think
that
like,
was after he erased his memories.
that is true. What was he like before? Because
But
even
it
there-
seems like he wasn't much. In my
Andross
opinion, it
chose
seems like he
him.
wasn't much different
Yeah,
before.
I think Andross
that
chose
the
him
dead
as the
man was
favorite
just
son
messing with
for
him.
that fact.
but there are some fucked up stuff that we start to think about. Is wasn't there a chapter they were talking about that he knew that the White Oak brothers were gonna be there?
Yeah.
and he set everything up
Yep.
to go kill them.
They said
get
that,
their-
but I don't believe it.
You don't believe
I
their
think that was
powers. Yeah.
misdirection.
You think
I
it
think
was
they were trying
misdirection?
to toy with him. Then again, we don't know the true evilness of the White Oak brothers, and maybe he was like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers."
I mean, there's
He could've
precedent that the White Oak brothers could have potentially been pretty evil, considering where one of the brothers
of
is
them
right
now.
now.
Yeah.
You know?
But they could have maybe not been so evil.
Could've,
And he's
yeah.
there now because of what Dazen
that's
did.
very possible.
That's what I said. Like, this book gave you information overload, and half of it was bullshit. And it
Well,
was to
we
fuck
don't
with
know
our
if it
heads.
was- yeah.
And his head, which was amazing because we're reading from that perspective.
But, like,
and
if
then
you
we're
think-
like, oh.
Oh, think about it. Why did he make his memory go away?
Well,
Because he
anytime
couldn't
you
live with
use the
himself.
black,
Yeah.
you feed memory. That's the problem. So, like, he.
Well, it's madness. The black is like fed off.
Well, we
madness,
don't-
or it's the color of madness.
I don't think you lose memory.
I
He
think you
chose.
feed memory.
He chose to lose memory to help himself become better.
But I don't think that means that the memory is as bad as the wall, the whatever yellow. I think it might have been in the yellow that he was telling him that.
Maybe he just wanted to forget his wife. Oh, sorry, wrong book.
I mean, I don't know. I think we're gonna find out. Let's pause this until we get to the Gavin end.
Yeah.
Sure.
And let's
Sure, sure,
maybe feed on our thoughts a little bit. But let's go back to Kip and the fact that he knows how to do Key and Paryl. It went blind because
I can't help but think of Key and Peele every time we talk about
Key and Paryl. Key and Paryl. He can do Key and Paryl, and then he like passes out with his eyes completely dilated,
So dilated
against the
and-
sun, which would have blinded him. However, he was saved.
by the librarian, who is.
By the
gonna be
way,
immortal.
his wife is turning out at this point to already be pretty badass.
Isn't that so hard though? Because you're like Tia.
Yeah.
Didn't anyone else like have a really
I
hard
struggled.
time?
I
It's so
struggled.
hard because you're like
I didn't.
I'm
So did his
starting to
crew
like
for a
Tissus,
while.
but I
But she
really
seems pretty
like
amazing,
Tia.
man.
I really like Tia, but the thing is, though, is that like they're kind of, I don't know, his feelings for her were very just like young boy infatuation, and I feel like,
But I felt that was Liv. Liv was a young boy
yeah,
infatuation.
I feel like
definitely.
every single
Every
girl,
girl
he's
was-
come across,
yeah.
his current wife is literally the only one that he's actually had real like had to overcome things together and has had actual history with.
Well, he had that with Tia too.
Not really, kind
with the
of.
Black God and him owning her for a while.
Yeah.
Brent Weeks
Being
did
him.
something phenomenal. Is what he did is he set it up so that you were kind of like, oh, what the fuck? He loves Tia.
Yeah.
But then he made this girl so badass that you're even
She
the crew.
gets so much better. Yeah, like at first you're like, she's the one who fucking threw the rope out at the testing. Cause
Yeah, she was.
He didn't
She
was
was the
pass the
asshole.
thrashing because of her.
She
And
was
it like,
giving his father a blowjob.
Oh yeah, naked.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a bit rough.
I don't
By
know.
design.
I don't get what you guys like. What's not to love?
By design, first of all.
She's
by
a
design,
giving person. She's a
Come
very
on, guys.
giving
By design, and she really does
I want
want
some
to
of
do
that.
well by her family.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
true.
one thing that she was told by her sister from day one is, I'm a lesbian, you're getting married. Doesn't matter if I'm going to sleep with all the women that I want to. I'm keeping the family afloat financially.
Your only job is
Yeah.
getting married to
That
help
was
the
it.
family.
I mean, that's not fair.
I will agree with you guys that at the very beginning I felt that way, but at the point that we are right now at the end of this book, I hope that he doesn't F it up with her to then go with Tia. I think that they're good together. I think that they
they'll be
work things out.
yeah.
I think they,
Yeah.
as of right now, they seem to have a very healthy relationship, and I think that it is definitely possible for stupid young boys and girls, but for stupid young people to get so caught up in infatuation and like this idea of, oh, I have to love this person that I loved back then, that you can mess up something that's actually real in front of you. And I hope Kip doesn't do that.
I think, based on the end of the book, that the only thing that's going to fuck up their relationship now is some death, which won't be
I
Kip's
still think Kip
until
is
the end.
potentially capable of messing it up, but I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
I think that there will be. I think that there's going to be a big test coming with that. Like, Tia is going to come back, and there
Which is going to have
be
killed Gavin.
but
his
there's
father.
going to be some very like tough
Air
decisions.
quotes.
But I think Kip is going to stay with Tissus, and he's going to have
Tissus?
Tysus.
Tysus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all right.
You did naughty book. You read,
I
right?
know.
You're good.
Tissus
Don't
is
feel
how it's
bad.
pronounced,
Don't
like
feel
Tysus.
bad.
So they're going to come up, and it's going to cause a rift, but he's eventually going to realize that he should be with her. And Tia's going to be like, I do love you, but my journey is as a shield, and she's going to maybe...
Dude, they had one
Yeah.
kiss and they had great, like, they were developing a relationship, but what Kip has gone through with this
her.
woman,
Yeah.
Tysus, in a marriage is, like, so much deeper, truly,
Yeah.
than what he went through with Tia. So I do agree with Brett. It could be that he fucks it up, but I think
Yeah.
mostly they are both kind of moving on from
Yeah.
that. And Tia has done nothing now but, like, become,
Awesome,
in her
and
mind,
helping him.
awesome, but an assassin.
Yeah, she's
Like
like
she's gonna need some help.
Kip's
to get
going
out of this.
down his light path, becoming the Lightbringer, hopefully, and
She's
Tia's going
gonna
down
be in
his
the
dark,
shadows.
and she's like injuring herself more than she is. I mean, a lot of people are
She's-
dead, but she's becoming darker inside.
Yeah,
And I think at the
it's-
end
I
she's
fear
gonna
for
die
her.
because she's gonna be like, I can't go on with this, and she's gonna make a sacrifice and die.
Yeah,
doing
for
it.
the ultimate good. Because she is like,
I
what
hope
did she?
not,
What was the
man.
name
Oh,
that
no.
the title that she got from Karis? That she's now like just the hammer in the darkness. That like she is literally like, you can kill, you can do whatever you want. You're absolved
Yeah.
of all of your crimes. Like you are essentially just like the Chromaria's like sickle death. Like like you're gonna go out and you're gonna just wreak havoc and destroy the enemies, and you're gonna be absolved of it at the end.
Yeah.
How about?
I think that's crazy how like she promised her like, oh, I won't make you do anything to like anything immoral or whatever she said when she first joined
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
I won't make you break your oaths or whatever, something like that. But it's like that. It basically just comes
Well-
down to, well, it's not immoral because we're going to absolve you of your
Yeah.
sins.
Well, and now it's like,
oh, okay.
she's just like, oh, you're gonna have to kill innocent people, and you're gonna be
know.
absolved of it, but you're gonna have to do it. And
I
she's
know.
like, has to practice her peril on the freaking poor people down
I
in the
know.
basement.
You know,
And that's
though-
got to be destroying her.
The sad thing is that guy was gonna die no matter what. Though he was gonna be used as that tool for somebody.
Yeah.
If not her,
And
somebody else.
I hope that she can mentally stay strong to that point to know that like she didn't
It's
set
not
this
her.
up, but she does have to learn this. She has
Yeah.
to. She has to for a lot of bigger causes, but man,
That's rough.
fuck.
I love her.
It's
I know.
it's hard. I think this is a reason why I would probably make a bad leader instead of a good one, because unfortunately you do have to make like tough choices like that, I guess. But for me, it's like, I don't know. I personally don't believe in ever, like, obviously there's always going to be collateral damage in a war, but it's always unexpected collateral damage. It's like,
Yeah.
we're not intentionally trying to kill someone that's innocent. It's just someone innocent died because we were intentionally trying to kill someone that wasn't innocent, you know?
But now you're
And-
like,
but
no,
when you
it's-
make choices to intentionally kill someone that's innocent because it's for the greater good, I think that that's really dicey territory, and it's a line of thinking that allows some like pretty evil ideologies
Well,
to go on. You know,
Like the atomic bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could follow that this is for the greater good down a really dangerous rabbit hole.
exactly.
There are times, however,
Well, that's how villains are made.
Well,
Yeah.
if you can maintain a balance, though, sometimes it's real. But that line is so gray and so dicey. Like director said, it's like one you have to treat with the utmost dangerous respect and
yeah.
retrospective and reflection. I do think though that Karis, the Iron White,
I would-
is truly reflecting upon all
Yeah,
these decisions.
and I would never
Deeply.
judge somebody that's in that position, especially considering I've never been in that position, too harshly, even if I disagree with their decision, because it's like, it's got to be impossible to be in a position where you're in charge of so many people's lives, and that if you don't make the hard choice, potentially even more people could die. But
What
I
did
just-
Andross say? He said he had the best line.
Yeah.
He's
If
like,
you-
"We're gambling lives here to save many lives now, but
Right.
it's just a gamble. It's
Yeah.
just a gamble." As in, like, you got to be okay with rolling those dice. kind of
Right.
thing. It was really
How about the whole Tia and Iron Fist and killing his sister? That
Yukaba?
scene was nuts. When
I was
she's-
kind of pissed at her for giving herself up.
Yeah.
She should have just iced her. That,
But I mean, she
that bitch
did.
was
But
crazy.
he figured out like
she was insane.
he figured out like
Right away.
ridiculously like how high the water stood, and he knew all the people who had cloaks.
That's why.
'cause her
No, but
cloak
that's
got
why
wet.
he should have just. She should have just done it and walked out.
Yeah.
She allowed it. Fuck, she was gonna kill Iron Fist.
Yeah.
She considered it. She couldn't. She even.
But that
She was
at
gonna
the
stab
end-
his ass.
But at the end, she couldn't do it.
No.
But even
no.
so, the thing is
Makaba
that-
was gonna
Oh,
kill Iron
New
Fist.
Kaba.
New Kaba.
But the other thing is though is
His
that
sister.
Iron Fist specifically would have. I mean, you're saving somebody that would not have made that choice himself. Like he would have rather died.
Yeah, that is true.
So you're making a decision for
For
someone
him.
else. It's not like, oh, Iron Fist is there, that's his sister, and if Iron Fist wasn't chained up, he would kill her to save himself. You're making a decision against the wills of the person that you're saving, which is an interesting
But
thing to think about.
Yeah, as we found out, Iron Fist may need more guidance than we thought, and his
For
brother
sure.
was a
Well,
humongous.
Yeah, I
Leverage
thought
for
his
that.
brother was helping, but I think it was once the old what's he called,
Old
the
man
old
in the
man in the
desert?
desert. Once he confronted him, he took his what is it called the
Gutra.
head, the Gutra. He took his head off and he discarded it again because he had it back on after Gavin's amazing display
Yeah.
with the Bane, the
Yeah.
Seed Bane, and then he gets his faith back, and even the White's like, "This is good on you," and then he betrays, or his brother dies. He gets kicked out of the Blackguard, and then the old man of the desert's like reminding him, like, "Yep, you've been on our side, and you're the bad guy now. You need to like go do this."
Not the
And he-
bad guy. Depends.
Well, not
on
that,
your
but
position,
he
but-
feels
Oh,
he's like,
exactly.
I'm betraying
Yeah.
the Orholm,
Orholm.
and he takes the Gutra off, and he is like, he's left it, and now on top of all that, what just happened, I think, doesn't make anything better.
Well, now he's going by king, and it's like, ooh.
Oh, shit.
But, that could be interpreted so many ways. And it may not be as bad as Andross Guile made it out to be, but it may be just as
bad. Because if he goes against the Chromaria, which he
lost his brother and his sister now.
within like weeks,
And he
of
knows
each
Tia
other,
did it.
and he knows that, and he knows the Chromaria
Chromaria.
center.
Well,
the
the order
creamery.
sent him her.
But the order, and that's what, does she say that? Does she convey that it was the order or Chromaria?
She doesn't, but he has to know that it
The
was
Order might
that
have done
sent
it.
her.
Yeah, he has to know the order's under because she used the cloak.
Yeah.
By the
but
way,
he
the
also
entire
knows
reason
that
that
Chaos
he's
allowed it to
stuck.
happen.
Ooh, this is why I.
But I think he knows Chaos allowed it to happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's Karis' spy.
Yeah.
However, this is another reason why.
Wait, does he know? He doesn't know that she's Karis' spy.
Well, he knows that she was the White's spy, but he never revealed it to the Order.
Yeah.
So good on him.
Yeah.
I think that he is definitely going to be super freaking pissed at the Order, and that may mean
I think he
that
should be super pissed at
it's
fucking
time
everyone.
to kill Dicoptes because they were supposed to protect Dicoptes,
Well,
but
that-
now he's like,
Wait, Kip?
"Fuck you, Order! Time to kill Dicoptes."
Do you mean Kip?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he's gonna
they were going to
kill Kip?
protect Dicoptes because of the Order.
Well, the order
Well,
said
no,
we
the
might not
Order
necessarily
said.
have
Yeah,
to
no, the
kill
Order
him.
said we have nothing against him. You just do whatever you feel at the time. Or
to
like,
nourish him so that he doesn't do the same thing he did last time.
Yeah. But
there's
actually,
also-
now you think he might join with Kip and push Kip away from the Order if he's hating the Order.
No, but Ironfist was on his way to Kip.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
And
Then his
Kip's
sister
kind
captured
of
him.
also outside the Cosmere now, since he was tried to be assassinated on his way out.
Yeah.
So like, they might team up. And
yeah, so they might, which would
But
mean that they wouldn't fight.
the thing
Cruxer.
is, Ironfist might be like, let's team up and destroy the Cosmere and we'll become the rulers. 'Cause
Kip
he doesn't.
is gonna fight against that.
And Kip's like, no, we can't.
Yeah, that could be the
Kip,
type.
and then
Kip
the-
sees the bigger picture. I love his new like regulations are so good, where he's
with
like
slaves in like 7 years, or we're gonna follow these orders. With,
because he knows he can't just abolish it because it will just overthrow him and murder him.
yeah.
So he's like, here's the new rules. It's
Well, also like
dicey though because he hates it.
Yeah.
Well,
But
also
it's
when
like,
he's trying to keep
what are you gonna do?
the ghosts and what is it called, the Chinvar War, whatever the Kinwar?
rabbit
The
dog.
quinoa.
The quinoa. Those two groups, because they're like, oh, you guys are practicing heresy, and he's like, oh, I have to keep these like two teams together. Like he's like maneuvering some very tricky areas, but
Yeah.
he's doing it amazingly.
Do you think the
That-
bear guy was a spy?
Which guy?
No, really? Is
The
that
bear
what you
guy.
think?
He did leave after the death.
But you know why he left.
But he left because he said he
we
couldn't.
know why he said he left.
But I think that was legitimate.
I think it was legitimate too.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
You don't know? What makes you think no?
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Kip is being maneuvered into a trap. He doesn't see certain things, so he's looking for them.
Well, I think the trap is that he's
And
on the island.
not only
now.
did he leave, somebody else left too. The little
girl from the whatever the clan that I was talking
again?
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I worry a little bit about it. Okay, let's take a break and get on to episode 2 after this.
Yes, yes.
We have lots to talk about because we just speculated a ton of fucking shit in the future. But in episode 2, let's actually talk a little bit about what happened.
Ugh.
Eh.
Cheers. Refill time.
Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.